Hello, everyone. Let's get started. This is Global Ambassador Joe Garcia, and I just want to make sure everybody's hearing me. It's really a pleasure, an honor. I'm incredibly excited to spend some time with you here this afternoon. For those of you who gave me some great birthday blessings yesterday, I really appreciate it. You made my day. Yes, I'm a year older and a year wiser, I believe. So I hope today that you're going to get some great value from this very important training in terms of closing rank. And before I get started, I wanted to really help all of you understand, and in terms of how I learned over the years, and when I've attended live trainings, when I've attended trainings online, it's really important to take some proper notes. Even if you're going back to the recording and listening to it over and over again, which I also recommend, is take some notes. You should see my binder of notes since 1993, since I started in this industry, is I've got so many notes that I review, and it does something to your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, when you start to write down things that you learn, and when you go and review it in your own words that you've written down, you tend to internalize it more. So the purpose of any training is to internalize it and then put it into practice. This is the challenge in today's world, is of information. We can go online today and learn anything that we want to do. I read a story the other day about a woman in upstate New York, not too far from where I live, who built a house from scratch. Not just a house, a 4,000 square foot house. For those of you outside of North America, in Europe, in Latin America, and Asia, that is approximately 1,400 square meters house, and she built from scratch with no previous experience in holding a hammer, and she learned that from YouTube tutorials. So information is not the problem in today's society. It's readily available to us. We can learn anything we want. It's implementing that knowledge. For the most part, most people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. So in today's training, I'm going to be speaking to you about how to close rank, how to come into a month like we are right now in our first week of the NHT quarter, last quarter of the month, and how to go into a mindset in going for that next rank, closing rank. And I'm going to take you through the steps, and I've got a special guest I've invited to come on here who's going to share in about 10 minutes on how he was able to accomplish the 5th rank with these following steps. So let's look at the tools that we have available here in NH2 Global that will allow us to advance in the business, make more money in the business, and hopefully everyone that's in this business for the purpose of developing it as a business, obviously the number one goal is to earn income in the business. And in order to earn income in the business, we need to know and have available to us and use every tool available to us. So in order for us to get to that next level of income. So the number one tool that we have is the IRP, the International Recognition Program. Tied with the International Recognition Program is the Achievers Bonus, which are the bonuses that we earn for hitting rank, which also includes a car and trip bonuses involved in the Achievers Bonus. So there's no greater tool to advance your business than getting to the next rank. There's no greater tool to earn more money in NH2 Global than going to the next rank. And if you're not talking about it to your team, if you're not talking about it in your team all the time, You're not utilizing the most important way to develop our business and earn more income. The other tools that we have is the trip incentives. Most of the world are focused now on going to our next major incentive trip, which is the Dubai trip coming up in 2022. And most of the world, that qualification ends at the end of December. That has been extended. So our incentive trips are another major tool in increasing our income. You want to write this down. The company recently, I saw this statistic, and from my own experience attending these trips all over the world, you know that well over 95% of people, of distributors that have attended and qualified for an incentive trip are still active in the business here in NH2 Global. Think about that, how powerful those statistics really, dot the I's, crosses the T's, and understanding how powerful the incentive trips are. Third way to advance our business is through our incredible product line. I always tell people that I'm pretty good. I can probably sell and fool people for a year. I can probably do that for 2 or 3 or 4 years. But for 20 years, you cannot fool people. Time will expose you. So our products have been proven top 1% in their categories to maintain health and wellness and help with health and wellness and beauty and lifestyle. I had a customer the other day ask me, do our products work? And I just basically shared with him, just look at the sales that we've done over the last 20 years in the markets that we're in. I can forward you a ton of testimonials, but just the sales will anchor that belief. Yeah, our products really, really do work. And by the way, the company does have an incredible money back guarantee. And that's another point that we all have to understand as NHT distributors. That I haven't seen many, compared to all the other companies in the industry, but NHT has very few, less than 0.001% of returns globally on our products. And that is highly, highly unusual when it comes to health and wellness, when it comes to lifestyle products, when it comes to beauty products, right across the industry. Some of the major companies in the industry, multi-billion-dollar companies, companies that have been at our level here the last 20 years, that they have, probably 10, 15, 20 people working in returns only to handle returns that they're having in the company. NHT, bar none, very few, less than 0.001% of products are returned here within NHT, and that is incredible. That is an incredible statistic. It's a testament to one of the major reasons, the major anchors that we've been in the business for 20 years. It's because of our products. So we've got closing rank. The IRP is a tool. We have our incredible products as a tool. We have the incentive trips as a tool. And the fourth one I want to talk to you about today, also, let's get to the next slide, if I can do that, is you yourself. You yourself. This is actually a check that I wrote, as you can see, March the 6th, 2001, $1 million. This is a check that I've carried with me over the last 20 years. As you see on the slide here, your sueño, which is Spanish, which is your dream. So let's talk about your dream. Let's talk about what your dream is within NHT Global. If you attend Dan Catto's trainings, I see Garth Wright on the incredible Garth Wright, incredible Dan Catto, Jose, and many of the other leaders on this training here today. None of them would become a success if they did not have a dream, did not have a why. The secret to life is having a destination. The secret to mental health is having a destination in your life, a passion in your life. The secret to how the universe works is having a passion and destination in your life. Majority of people in the world, yes, have been programmed not to dream, not to go after your dreams because of failure. You're just going to disappoint yourself. So I would refer back to the book I wrote, Your Best Year Ever. You can get on my website, yjoegarcia.com. I go into detail on why you have to have a dream. And I also provide you the steps and how you can manifest that dream very quickly in your life. So this is what I carried with me. This was my purpose every morning, waking up in the morning and doing those calls and doing those consistent actions. So I had my dream, but I also needed to have these consistent actions. The consistent actions repeated over time equals success. You know, one of the strategies that most people in life have is they're looking for that lottery win. To go down, you know, here in Canada, I went and pumped gas the other day, and there was a $70 million lottery coming up. $70 million, and that lineup was out the door. There was like 30, 40 people in line just to get tickets for this $70 million draw. You know, you have less than 0.0000001% to win that draw, and people are lining up because that they're thinking, okay, maybe I can win this. You know, despite the odds, maybe I can become a multi-millionaire despite the odds. And I learned many years ago, thanks to great mentors like Dan Catto, working with him and many other people, is that consistency in your actions, when you have a dream and you have a goal, that consistency will make you reach that starting line, that finish line before anybody else. You know, what I see on a daily basis around our business is you see people that are active in the business for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They do the things that most people are not doing, and then something happens in their life, and that big distraction moves them into that direction, and they completely stop doing the things that they were doing in the business that got them the results. I can honestly tell you 100% from the bottom of my heart, since June 23rd, 1993, is the reason why I am where I am today is because I took consistent action. I shared the product every day. I shared the business every day. My on-site of my business is on every single day. I was open for business. No matter what distraction came along, this is why you need a dream. When a distraction came along in my life, and believe me, I got 2 kids. I got a big family. You know, I'm that person like everyone else that has distractions can come in their life. I had plenty of excuses over the years to take 2, 3, 4, 5 months off. But because my dream was greater than anything else in my life, those distractions I just brushed off and I continued to focus. A few years ago, I was doing archery lessons, and I had a hard time hitting the target. And so I stepped up to that circle, and one after the other, I was missing that target. And I was getting frustrated. And the coach came up to me and said, Joe, remove all distractions out of your mind. Quiet your mind and focus on the target. Just focus on the target. So I go, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been teaching for years. So I stepped back for about 10 seconds. I just removed all my thoughts, took the bow and arrow, and hit the middle of the target like I was a pro. I removed all distractions. I was so focused on the target. So when you fall in love with your dream, and that dream has to be specific, It will allow you and it will allow your teammates to overcome the distractions, to overcome the challenges that you're going to have in business, to overcome your neighbors knocking on your door and wanting to spend some time with you when you should be working in your home. It will overcome everything in your life when your dream is greater than everything else. It's this perfect world that God has created where the ones that focus for the longer term on a consistent basis, sharing the product, sharing the business, teaching others to do the same thing, you will have great success in this industry. Just think about it. If you're able to, over the next year, speak to 2 new people a day in this business, just 2. It's easy to do, easy not to do. That is, don't take any days off. It only takes 5 minutes to share the business with someone. You know, there's 365 days in a year. That's 730 people that you will speak to over that year. Just think about how more impressive your skills are going to be a year later. How more people you're going to involve in the business. How many more products are you going to sell? How closer are you going to become to your dream? It's the consistency. Even if you take in the next 3 years and just speak to 1 new person a day, that consistency will make you getting closer to that global ambassador. Maybe you'll achieve that global ambassador position. So I'd like you to all today, after this training, and when you're listening in the future, just go online and start to study your dream, why it's so important. Start to study consistency. There's plenty of trainings out there on why that is important to success. Why, Jim Rohn has probably the most important, the best definition of success. Simple disciplines repeated over time is success. And failure is simple judgments and error repeated over time is failure. So when I started NHT, I took that check. I carried one with me. I also planted one along with $1 million bill on my ceiling in my bedroom. So this is what I was focused on and achieving in my life, in my business. And guess what? That focus, that dream allowed me to attract so many other great things in my life. So think about it. And I'm just speaking from experience and speaking from just looking at people all over the world and viewing their lives, the ones that can focus on the passion and a dream. And when they achieve it, you start to see other parts of their life, when done properly, move up. You'll have better relationships because you need to be a different person to achieve that dream. So you need to start working on yourself to achieve that dream. So you're going to be, speaking from my perspective, I've become a better person. I've become more conscious and smarter, and my skill sets have developed and grown just because of my dream and my consistency and me doing the numbers. There is a great book, an awesome book by a children's book where we've all grown up with that here, especially here in North America, the hare and the tortoise. Logically, we know that the rabbit is much faster than a turtle or tortoise and will always cross the finish line because it's faster. But in this book, the author shared the story that the tortoise won because the rabbit was susceptible to distractions. It would get to that tree and, was well ahead of that tortoise, and it was majorly distracted, and that tortoise just took step at a time. When there was a distraction in his way, he would just jump over it. He would just push it aside because it was just a step at a time. a step at a time. So let's look at closing rank, the number one tool in qualifying in increasing your income in NHT Global. Number one tool is closing rank at the associate level. So when one looks at going global ambassador, you have $600,000 in BV on one side, 300,000 minimum on the other, or any combination of the two, and you're going to be global ambassador when you do it 2 out of the 3 months or 2 consecutive months. When people look at it, when distributors look at that, they go, "Oh my God, that's a lot of volume. That is, I can't even visualize that and how I can grow and have a big organization like that." But when you break it down to the associate level, which is the most important rank in NHT Global, that's 120, only 120 associates. So to become an associate, you need 2,500 on one side, 5,000 on the other. Minimum 2,500 on one side, or 5,000 the other, and a combination of both. So if you have 80 associates on one side and 40 on the other, 80 and 40, you now become a global ambassador. You now become a global ambassador. So when you break it down to these numbers, one can visualize it quite easily. So how do you do this? So the first step is you need to become associate rank, and you need to develop a business plan to become an associate. So if you were to do it yourself only, so all you need is 7,500 in business, you're looking at approximately a little over 5 platinums. So if you look at 1,250 in volume times 5 is 625, 6,250. So you would be five platinums would get you 6,250 BV. That's 1,250. So all you would need is 6 platinums, six platinums in your organization recruited to get to associate. So how do you do that? Well, you start today, and you're going to tell yourself you're going to get to global ambassador, you're going to get to associate rank just through your own recruiting. So you need 7 platinums. From my experience, you probably need to show the product and the business to about 70 people in the month. That's 70 people. You're looking at 10% recruiting ratios. So 10% of 70 are 7 platinums. That are 7 people that are going to go and purchase a platinum package. So how do you get to 70 people? Well, we know that there's 30 people, 30 days in a month, 31 days. So if you take it over a month period, you're looking at a little over about 2.5 people a day that you're going to share the product with. Again, is that easy to do? Yes, it's very easy to do. 2.5 people will take you less than an hour a day. So it's very easily achievable for even a part-time distributor. 2.5 people will take you less than an hour a day, maybe an hour and a half at most, just to do that prospecting. So let's look at, if you already have a team, you're not at the associate rank, what you want to do now is the second strategy you want to do is you want to find out in your team that wants to get to the rising star. So let's say you have a group of 7 people in your team or 10 people in your team. So rising star is just half the volume of associate rank. So if you have 2 people who want to go rising star on one side and another 2 on the other, start to look at the volume that will be created from that. So rising star is 3,750. 2 people will get you 7,500 on one side very easily. 2 people getting to rising star. So what you want to do with those people is create a strategy of how many people they need to work share the product and share the business every day just to get to Rising Star. And by them getting to Rising Star, it's going to automatically move you up to associate rank. The third strategy, very simple. Sometimes people need a little bit of a push to qualify at Rising Star and eventually associate rank. The challenge of most people is they don't believe that they can do it sometimes. So what you want to do is you want to incorporate maybe a promotion with your upline, your global ambassador upline, or your 6th, 7th, 8th rank upline. And you say, look, if you get to anyone that gets to associate rank or Rising Star this month, you know, Garth Wright will spend an hour with you coaching and training you. And or 3 hours with you, whatever the promotion is. Or you can do another. I know one of our distributors are doing when everyone qualifies for Dubai, that they're going to pay for their dinner at a special group dinner. So you can use these special little promotions to help people really target to get to associate rank and Rising Star. So these are just the simple strategies in order to qualify at associate rank. And the last one, real important. We've all heard the saying, the more you talk about something, the more you're going to attract it in life. You know, if you go read my book, The Best Year Ever, that's a strategy that I really believe in. You know, what you speak out of your mouth to your team, to your families, what you're going to attract more and more in your life. And so one of the things, daily communication principles that you have to incorporate into your language is ask your distributors and communicate with your distributors, and especially the new ones. When are you planning to get to Rising Star? When are you planning to get to associate rank? Can I help you now? How far are you away from associate rank? How far are you away from Rising Star? So when you incorporate that into your daily language, into your trainings, every training that you do, you speak about the IRP, you speak about the Achievers Bonus, you build your team through recognition, and by speaking about it on a constant basis, again, repetition is the mother of skill, you're going to have a culture of Olympic gold, silver, and bronze medalists in your team. So ask yourself this question: do you want an Olympic thinking top athlete business, or do you want a mediocre business? People that want an incredible business, like becoming a gold medal winner in the Olympics, do you think they don't talk about that every single day? To be in the top less than 1% of athletes in the world in their discipline? It's unbelievable how talking about what they want and going for it every single day, and you incorporate that into your culture, then everyone else is going to be speaking about it on your team. So communicate. That's the most important language in NHT. When are you going to associate rank? When are you going to Rising Star? What do you need to get there? And when you incorporate that into your culture, you will have everyone else in the team rise up to other ranks in the team. So what I wanted to do right now, Jose Lopez, the incredible Jose Lopez, 5th rank Jose Lopez, who his brother Tio Lopez, the incredible Teobaldo, who is a businessman. He just qualified for rank 4. Bravo, Teobaldo. Rank 4, and Jose qualified for rank 5. So before last quarter, I sat down with Jose and walked him through these strategies that I'm sharing with you in this training here. And he did it T by T, step by step. And he was able to accomplish more in that quarter than he has in this previous few years in the business. just by doing the things that I'm sharing on the training here. So I'm going to invite him on.
Perfecto, Joe. Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo está Joe, Carlita y a todos los líderes? Buenos días. Aquí en Perú son 11:30 de la mañana, estamos de día, estamos por la mañana. Gracias, Joe, por la invitación. Y solo quería compartirles todo lo que nosotros venimos haciendo aquí en Perú como equipo fiel.
Hello to everyone. Hello, Mr. Joe. It's a pleasure to be here in Peru. We're in the morning. It's 11:30 a.m. And I'm really excited to share with everyone what we're doing here in our team that's named Fiel.
La única forma de poder consolidar nuestro rango y seguir creciendo es trabajando en equipo y bajo un sistema y un plan de trabajo.
The only way for us to make rank and keep working is to work in a team and have many strengths.
Entonces, cuando escuché yo que la única forma de llegar al máximo rango es tener 120 asociados, significa que nosotros debemos ir ayudando día a día a más afiliados a que se conviertan en asociados.
So when I heard Mr. Joe say that to be platinum, global ambassador, you only need 120 associates. I'm working every day with my team for them to get to that rank.
Entonces, eso me llevó a que pueda empezar a armar un plan de trabajo con mi equipo directamente y con todo el equipo fiel.
That made me start to plan a business plan with all my team and with the team Fiel.
El equipo fiel es de todos los líderes de aquí de Perú y Sudamérica.
The team Fiel is a group with all the leaders here in Peru and Latin America.
Y el enfoque principal está en ayudar a que cada uno consolide su rango, empezando por estrella naciente o Rising Star.
Our objective is to make everyone go to the next rank, starting with Rising Star.
Entonces, enfocándose en ayudar solo a 2 personas que se conviertan en estrella naciente, tenemos 7,500 puntos. ¿Eso qué significa? Que te lleva a rango asociado. Ayudando a 2 afiliados nuevos que se conviertan en Rising Star, tú automáticamente pasas a asociado.
Focusing on only helping 2 people at a time. If 2 people under me get to Rising Star, automatically that would make me an associate.
Y así vamos avanzando luego, una vez que te conviertas en el Rising Star, y luego, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Vamos a ayudar mínimo a esas 2 personas que se conviertan en asociado, ayudando a que ellos a su vez ayuden a 2 nuevos Rising Star.
And that's how we keep going. Then those people that got to Rising Star, we help them to become associates also, while they also train 2 other people to become Rising Stars.
Y eso te va a llevar al siguiente nivel, que es justamente líder. Haciendo 14,000 puntos, eso te lleva al rango líder.
And that will take you to the next level, which should be rank leader.
Y ese es el plan que me ha permitido, junto con el apoyo de Joe García, día a día, semana a semana, mes a mes, llegar al rango director.
And that's the plan that has helped me alongside with Joe Garcia I do this every day, every month, and with that I got to rank director.
Y a su vez ayudar a que salgan muchos Racing Star en mi equipo, muchos asociados, líder, y mi hermano Teobaldo llegue también a líder senior, cuarto rango.
This has helped so many people on my team get to new ranks like Rising Stars, Associate, and also my brother that right now is Leader Senior.
El enfoque principal y la filosofía de trabajo de cada uno de nosotros es enfocarse en ayudar a dos personas. El enfoque principal como equipo es ayudar a dos personas que lleguen a Racing Star y luego asociado y así sucesivamente hasta llegar a tener 120 asociados, que eso te convertirán en embajador.
So our focus and our philosophy of our group is helping 2 people at a time for them to get to Rising Star, and then helping the people that they bring in also do the same thing for us to become ambassadors.
Entonces, la idea es preguntarle al equipo, no cuánto gana, sino a cuánta gente está ayudando cada día, a cuánta gente está transformando su vida cada día, porque ayudando a las personas que están en tu línea ascendente a que suban de nivel, a que se desarrollen cada día, automáticamente te va a llevar al siguiente nivel, a consolidar tu rango.
So the idea is talking to the team and not asking how much are you making, but asking how many people are you helping today to get to the next rank. That is how we form our team and get to the next rank.
Esa es la filosofía de no preguntar cuánto ganas, sino a cuánta gente ayudas cada día.
That is our philosophy. Not asking how much are you making, but asking how many people are you helping.
Esa es la filosofía que aplicamos con todo el equipo y con todos los líderes que estamos aquí posicionando NHT en Perú y Sudamérica.
That is the philosophy that we work with the whole team and throughout Latin America.
Es la filosofía que nuestro embajador Joe García siempre nos ha compartido y nosotros la estamos aplicando y funciona. Esa es la única forma de consolidar nuestro rango y seguir avanzando.
That is the philosophy that our mentor and ambassador Joe Garcia has taught us, and that is how we are working now to get to new ranks.
Gracias, Mr. Joe. Gracias por la oportunidad. Y para lo que necesites, mi hermano, aquí estaré siempre.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Joe, for this opportunity, and I will always be here.
Gracias, hermano. Gracias. Thank you. Jose is a great example that had his dream. Had a dream like I had here with this track here, and put a game plan together. If you just noticed, the one thing that Jose had that in his action plan, the number one part of his action plan was he talked about in his culture every single day and how to get that to that next rank. When are you getting to that next rank? When are you getting to Rising Star? And they're working in groups of 2. So that's all part of the action plan. If you don't talk about it, team, then your team's not going to talk about it. If you're not going to the next rank, then your team's not going to the next rank. But you start with incorporating the language of the IRP. It's amazing to me here in NHT. And yes, I think for the first 8, 9, 10 years of NHT, we did not have a recognition plan. We didn't have a recognition plan. And we still did a huge amount of volume and business over the years. But since the recognition plan was introduced to NHT, the teams that are flourishing globally 10, 15 years later are the ones that are talking about it over and over and over again. So let's just review the action plan and closing rank. So a couple of things is get to know the recognition plan. So go on your NHT Global site, click on highlights, and under there you'll see members only section. You log in with your password and your ID number, and you can download the recognition plan and the achievers bonus. So get to know the levels, get to know the ranks, the amounts that you need to accomplish to qualify for those ranks and why, okay? And the why is the achievers bonus. Second thing that you want to do is you want to incorporate an action plan for yourself. So what I've talked to you today is make sure you get to that first rank. And then go to your team members when you want to go Rising Star, when you want to get to the associate level, and you put together a personal recruiting action plan. So I talked about consistency. So the great thing about targeting rank is it gets people focused on consistency that in their plan. So for example, if you're just going to go global, you're going to go associate level, 7,500 in volume, that means you're going to need approximately six platinum distributors on your team recruited by you. You know that you're going to need to speak to 60, 70, 80 people during that month to create that momentum that will allow you to have at least 6 new members join at platinum or a combination of golds and other volume that's been created through your customers, just through your personal activity. So that personal activity on a daily basis will really teach people, wow, I'm getting results now. I'm going to take it to the next month. I'm going to take it to the next month. Easy to do. Just 2 new people a day will give you, within an hour and a half of 2 hours, maybe sometimes an hour of just working a day. So it's very achievable to do those actions every day, single day. The other thing I would incorporate into the plan, which I didn't talk to you about before, and I do this all the time for my personal work, is I give myself rewards. I give myself rewards. So for example, I recently purchased a iPhone 13 Pro Max that just came out. So I rewarded myself for some personal activity goals that I created for myself over the summer that allowed me to go out and reward myself. It felt good. It wasn't because I just picked up a brand new phone. This is just a material thing. What it felt like for me was achieving a goal, and I was rewarding myself. I remember the first $2,000 suit that I purchased. At the time, I thought, wow, $2,000 suit is similar to a $200 suit. But when you put on that suit and I bought that suit because I was rewarding myself. When I put on that jacket, I thought, wow, this is not a $200 suit. It made me walk taller. It made me step with conviction in my life because of the reward that I gave myself. So rewarding yourself for activity goals is another powerful tool that allow you get to the next rank and allow you to do the consistent work. There was a study a number of years ago. Many of you have heard me share this in my previous trainings. NASA, the North American Space Agency, did a study with astronauts. What the study was all about is they put these astronauts, they put these concave glasses on these astronauts, and they wanted to study them and how their brains were being affected by this, their thoughts, everything that, their health. And what these concave glasses did was made them look upside down. So they had to wear these glasses 24/7. In that first study that they did with these astronauts, there was about 25 of them, Each one of them started seeing right side up 25, 26 days later. They did a second study and changed the study by 1 day. So what happened in the second study, different astronauts, is they had on day 15, they took the glasses off for only 24 hours and they had to restart the study a day later. You know, in that second group of astronauts, that it took them an additional 26, 27, 25 days to start seeing right side up. That was that solidified my belief. It was a game changer. I understood that there's so many lessons that you learn from those two studies. The first lesson is, think about it. If you participated in that study and you were wearing these glasses, what would be on your mind 24/7? I can't wait to get these glasses off. This is making me sick. Can't do nothing. Your entire thought process and goal was to finish this study. That's all you could think about because of what the glasses did to you. It made you look upside down. You know that because of the wanting, because of the focus and the consistent thoughts, 26 days later, your neural pathways in your brain developed in a way where you started seeing right side up with those glasses. Think about that. That's the power of focus. And you can manifest anything in your life with that type of focus. And the wanting is the key. And then the second study, by just changing it by a day, removing it by a day, it started the cycle all over again. And I've seen this in my business for decades now, where the ones that can consistently focus on these habits that get them results over a period of time will massively win in life. You will manifest what you want in life by focusing on daily disciplines. And please write down this study, review this training over and over again, and just listen to this part if you need to implement that into your consciousness. And you can kind of go back in your lifetime and look at the things that you were focused on most for a longer period of time, 26, 27, 28 days. That tends to be the magic number. And then you can see the results in your life. You can see the results in your life. I'm going to share with you a story in 1998. The company that actually merged into NHT in 2001, Dan Cato and I were a part of it. And in 98, one of my team members qualified at the second highest rank, 1997, before I did. And she kind of rubbed it into my face. You know, it was a competitive thing. And I was so happy for her that she achieved that rank. But deep down inside, because of my competitiveness, it killed me. It killed me. And I can remember Dan Cato egging me on too, you know, because he knew it killed me. And so that month, I committed to qualifying for that rank. And I did the same strategies I'm sharing with you here today. The last day, I was about 12,000 BV to 15,000 BV short on qualifying. And I woke up that morning and thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to qualify for it. And I immediately told myself, Joe, get that thinking out of your brain. You're going to work harder than like you ever done in your life, and you're going to qualify for it no matter what. So I got up real early that morning and I started making calls. I started making calls. I looked over my list. I started talking to my distributors that wanted to get to that next rank. I was going through their list and making calls and closing and seeing how much ball they needed. So all these strategies I've been sharing with you here today. And by 6 o'clock, I'm 4,000 away. And I've exhausted everyone else in the team. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to do this myself. I got to do this myself. And by 9:59 that night, I qualified. And I remember the feeling of accomplishment. But what it did to me was, oh my God, I can accomplish anything. I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. Nothing's going to get into my way. I proved myself that day that I was a incredible business person. I can accomplish anything with focus and determination. And it was my wanting, it was my dream that pushed me. It was my dream that pushed me to get to where I wanted to go. So for those of you, I'm going to end the webinar here today. Is that day I committed to excellence. And before that, for those of you who know me, I'm probably one of the most laid back guys in the world. My emotional intelligence, I've worked on it for years. I don't get too angry. I don't get too excited. I'm just that guy that just takes a step at a time with excitement, but I've worked on my emotional intelligence. And but that day, I committed to excellence. I felt what excellence was all about. Is setting a goal, no matter how impossible it looked like, and it looked impossible that day to me, but I just did the actions in this perfect universe that God created. Because of my wanting, I was able to accomplish it. Worst case scenario, I would have made it, if I didn't make it that day, and I was so, probably would have been really disappointed, but I would have made it the next month, guaranteed, guaranteed. So I committed myself to excellence, and that's what we're talking about today with the International Recognition Program. It's a excellence reward. You know, Dan and I have created a culture of excellence here in NHT. We're constantly pushing the NHT corporate team to become better, to have better communication, have better promotions, you know, get better themselves, you know, in all these areas. And we're constantly pushing them because we don't want to be part of mediocre. We want to be part of excellence. And excellence starts with your dream, with your passion. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think about your dream more than once a day? And if you don't think about your dream more than once a day, you're really not in love with it. So you need to find something else that you can fall in love with. And when you fall in love with your dream and you fall in love with excellence, don't be mediocre. Don't be average. All you have to do is just be a little bit more than average. So I heard today that if you're making 50,000 US dollars a year, think about this, 50,000 US dollars a year, you're in the top 1% income in the world. 50,000. For many of us in North America and Western Europe and many parts of the world, you're saying, oh, that's not possible. You know, I can't live on 50,000 a year. But for most of the world, 99% of the world, they would love to be in the shoes. 50,000 a year and more. So it's all in the way you look at things. So if you're in Africa and you're making 50,000 a year, you're laughing all the way to the bank. When you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things will always change. So when you change and focus on excellence, become better every day. So read an hour a day. That's my formula. Read an hour a day or feed your mind every day. So I was riding the Peloton today. A few days ago, I pulled my hamstring. I went on that Peloton and I was a little bit in pain, but I just did it. And it became a little easier because I was born to excellence. We're all born in excellence. So I focused during that ride on an hour of training in my mind, feeding myself with prosperity abundance. I listened to an incredible podcast this morning. Second thing you need to do every single day is you wake up with a great attitude and review your goals. You know, you can write yourself a check like I did, put it in your pocket, review your goals every day, your activity goals, your dream. Feed your mind consistently with that. Third thing is you need to show your universe that you're serious, you're in love with your dream. So you need to share the product and share the business. The world needs NHT Global. The pandemic has shown us that health is so important. And many people are starting to realize that. And many people passed. It's too late for them. Fourth thing you need to do, show the business. Oh my God. Things are moving so fast. Things are changing so fast. I have a cousin of mine who's 55 years old who lost his job 35 years, working in a job, doing everything. You know, 55 years old. And it's because his company was sold. He's in the newspaper business. It's a dying business. And they're cutting out all the management, all the fat cats. Things are moving fast, guys. And network marketing is an industry that's in front of all the waves now globally. NHT is on the front of all the waves of success, all the waves of trends. So you want to be in front of that. That's why we've been able to survive during the pandemic, not being able to go to meetings and meet with people. It's because we can do it online and we can meet people online. And we're in the front of social media explosion. You just go on TikTok now and see the number of marketers using TikTok. And TikTok is primarily used for the younger generation, used by the younger generation. So these consistent habits every day that I've been doing for 28 years, that Dan Cato's been doing for 28 years. You know, great leaders like Jose and Garth and Teobaldo have been doing it over and over and over again. It's just simple disciplines repeated over time. You know, one of the greatest teachers that this world has ever seen or heard, Jesus Christ. You know, he talked about the parable of the farmer. When I've read that over and over again, and when I went to Bible class when I was a teenager, and the teacher was talking about that, and I've read it hundreds of times, and I'm almost certain that he was talking about our mindset. You know, when we're planting good seeds and we're not taking care of them every day, you've seen it in the pandemic, mental health challenges will come. The weeds will take over. But if you're pulling the weeds every day by feeding your mind, you know, you're growing your mind. And you know, if you go into Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, for example, or Bruce Lipton, they have proven, science has proven that over 90%, 75, 90, something 95 of health, your body's health has to do with your mind. You're feeding it with garbage. That's the negative part of the internet. You are going to have garbage in your life. It's guaranteed. And Jesus Christ talked about it. You know, when you're planting good seeds every day, make sure you pull those weeds every single day so you're going to have a huge harvest. So what are you going to decide to do? You're going to continue doing what you're doing the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or you're going to commit to excellence? You're going to commit to excellence. Do you want an Olympic, gold medal, silver and bronze people in your business, or do you want a mediocre team? Do you want a team that's high performance, that's going for ranks? And that's what I'm going to leave you tonight. It's the number one thing you can do tonight. Change your language and start helping people, and talk to your team when you want to go to Rising Star, when you want to go to the first rank. Like Jose did, great things happen. So thanks for attending, guys, and have an incredible day today. Someone asked me the other day, yesterday, have a great weekend, Joe, and I responded, every day is a fantastic weekend, and that's the truth because of our business model. So God bless everyone. Thanks for joining me. Take care and have an incredible, productive, and awesome day. Bye-bye.